All right. Well, first, I just want to express my gratitude for all those that were able to attend the seating ceremony this morning. Grateful for Jesse's grandpa, my dad, that was able to perform that ceremony and that temple sealing. I know most of you know that the two of them, I don't know how many know their story, when they met, where they met, and how it happened, but I fortunately was there. We were at the Sports with the Wildlife banquet. It's an auction. There's a lot of drawings and tickets you put in buckets. And Laura was working with the tickets on the drawings, and Jesse, she caught his eye, and I thought it was like Raquel Welch. That dates me, I know, but she was super adorable, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get her number. And he's assertive. He gets after what he wants, and he showed courage, and he's brave and he's courageous. And I'm like, no, he's really anyway did it. And that's one of the things I love about you. You're just not afraid. You go get what you want, and you always have the courage to kind of finish what you start. Get my glasses back on. It's terrible at this age where I can't do either. From a very young age, when I was much younger for sure, but when these boys, we would go up into the playroom up above the garage, and I would do this game called the Lion Game, and I'd get down on my knees and hands, and I would kind of roar and crawl around, and if I caught one of them, it probably tickled them more than I should have, because most of them almost cried. But Jesse was always so tender-hearted, and he had a high concern for everyone else. And as soon as I got one of those brothers, he was like, I gotta rescue him. That's when he became the risk taker. And he would swoop in and hit me and slap me and then take off running. He was super fast, probably the hardest one to catch, but he would swoop in there and usually sacrifice himself, because eventually it meant that I was getting him, but he'd free his brothers. So it wasn't ironic when he told me, hey Dad, I think I'm gonna maybe rodeo. I was like, and this is before he said he wanted to ride bulls and to be a bull rider. I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. You want to be a clown because you like to rescue guys. And when those cowboys are in trouble, there you go. You're gonna run in there and save some guys. But no, he wanted to get on the back of a bull. Another thing that really stood out for me, and again, that goes back to how you like to rescue people and help people that are in trouble, and that's one of the things I really love about you. Jesse, of course, you can tell by the slideshow behind me, this slideshow that Jesse loves the outdoors. He loves nature, and it doesn't matter if it's camping, hunting, fishing, rappelling, especially shed hunting. I know you see a lot of those antlers around here. These guys, they love going up and hunting for sheds. But when he was really young, so obviously he's got some older brothers, and I was a scoutmaster, and I don't know, for like 12 years, and we would go on 50 milers, and it was usually up over on Beaver Mountain, on the Beaver Mountain Range up around Puffer Lake, and I go back and see some of the pictures, and I'm so amazed. I mean, there's probably 20 plus scouts, and there's usually a picture of an older brother in there, but there's Jesse, and he is, every time I turned around or I looked up, he's on the move. He's got this SpongeBob baseball cap with these big, I don't know if it's a SpongeBob, but it's got these big eyes on the front of his big yellow baseball cap, and he's got these black Adidas shoes, these little tennies, and a backpack that's probably the size of his body. And he's just cruising, and he gets after it, and I thought, man, that was tough. I think about how tough that was, and I thought, he loves to do that stuff because he wants to. Because he likes spending time with his dad and his brothers, even when things were tough. He enjoyed that. I love that about him. Jesse never was really afraid to work hard and to reinvent himself if he needed to. Didn't matter if it was sports or his work and his career, and he'd take on an extra job if he needed to get ahead. He's dedicated at the gym and goes to the gym. He's committed himself to the Lord, and And I love that about him. And when he decided he was going to serve a mission, it was a little bit later than some of his buddies that went out that was his age, but he dedicated himself, started working with his bishop, and started working with, everyone knows and loves Mandy Mathis. She's kind of the gal that's got a lot of guys on missions, and he got called to Antofagasta, Chile. Then won again. You know, he gets thrown the curveball. That one generation, he got the COVID curveball, and he got sent home after about 2/3 of his mission. I don't know, 15, 16 months in, and maybe closer to 18. But he got home, and he could have had an honorable release. They were gonna, give him a choice to either get reassigned or call it good and have an honorable release. And he was like, I want to finish what I started. I'm committed. So he got reassigned to Fresno, California, and went and served another 6 months. And, that's one thing about Jesse is he loves to finish what he starts, and it falls in line with a quote, I think I wrote it down, but it was Thomas S. Monson who said, he always chose to elect to do the harder right instead of the easier wrong. And that's kind of been a motto of who you've been. I love that about you. So grateful to have had some different roles or titles in Jesse's life. I've been able to be a scoutmaster for him. I've been able to be in HMN's presidency and served in bishoprics that I worked when I worked with the youth. But I've also been his club soccer coach and his high school soccer coach, and he's worked in the family business with me as well. But the title I'm mostly proud of is the one that gets to be called Dad and even his friend. I know it's something I have to work at, and I'm so grateful for you, Ellen. I love so much about you. About to wrap it up here, but Jesse's just a person that is super loyal. He's persistent and dedicated. He's very kind-hearted and thoughtful. He's a sentimental kid that's the big romantic, and he's a man of integrity and honesty. He's a great brother and son, and I have no doubt that he'll be an awesome husband and a father. And I know that Laura recognizes those same attributes. Those are endearing to her as well, and that's why it's pretty much easy to say that, what I love about you is pretty much her. And I was always worried because we had 6 boys, and I had sisters, and I know they're different than boys for sure. And I was always worried, like, what do these boys do? Their mom's kind of a tomboy, and we just, we don't run much of a girly household, and what are these guys going to do when they don't understand what girls are going through and thinking, and how are they going to handle that? It always something that worried me, that how they maybe treat them, and I'm super grateful that how much they love and respect their brother and Holly, and how much we've really, really sincerely just enjoyed like look at these dear sweet daughters, these daughter-in-laws that we've gotten. They are so precious to Holly and I. We're so grateful for each of them, and we're so grateful that Jesse found his best friend, and that Laura, you would become a part of our family, and still become a part of your family. And so, as I say, both of you, we're so grateful for so many of the great attributes that I've been able to kind of touch on, but really we love everything about you. And I'm going to play a little game. We're going to see if these two can earn some money. So they're going to get up and they're going to wander the room, and if for every name that Jesse could name on Laura's side of the family, I'll give him $2.
$100?
Nope, $2. Just $2. And that could maybe we get to $100. But
Joe will manage it.
But Joe, you got it on this over. It's going to match all the fundraising. But I will also be in the contest to name the family members on Jesse's side. No, this is coming as a shock to them, but I know it's like, wow, this just blew up the launch for us. But let's see how they do. You guys ready for this? Wait, watch. Let me ask it one more time. Are you guys ready for this? Okay, here we go. Oh, the last little piece of advice I was going to throw at Jesse was, Jesse, and I told all his brothers the same thing when they got married. I said, Jesse, never ever laugh at Laura's choices, because you are one of them. And if you at first don't succeed, Jesse, just try doing it the way that she told you to do it. Okay? All right. All right, you two. You're on the move. We could start. I'll let you start right here with the easy ones.
Austin, Noah.
2, 4, 6. Okay. Here, we'll. Don't call it out. All right, here you go. Go far. Go far. Call it out. You stay in the front.
Sawyer, Brett, Joe, Lori, Joe,
You're killing one. That's it. Oh my goodness. Wait.
Randy, Linda, Rand, and John. I know it's your okay, okay? I
Did he get, she got Jesse's got a lot of work.
Makes me feel better.
Mary, Debbie.
That's what you call your wife. Save for that. She's gonna save for that.
I'll get you for beer. I know it's emotional damage. We'll take care. 10 more like You see him walk real fast?
I helped you with yours. No, I think you know all.
Tyler, Brian, Dallin, Josh.
Joss, we got Joss.
He likes stuffed truck.
Tucker.
Why do you have money? Susie's pissed. R and A. Just hold them. No, don't have a clicker, don't hold them. He's trying to get
We got Cody and Susie.
You get him? That's it? There you go.
You're
he loves presents. Okay, so we're gonna pass the mic now to Orville and Katie. Some time, and then we'll move to like an open mic for about 10, 12 minutes, and let some family members or friends that want to share something about this.